Okay, we're rolling. But you know what's so weird, you guys? My light is pink. But it's showing up really purple. I don't get it. I'm looking at it and I swear it's pink. When I turn the camera on, it's all like, it's purple. I don't know. I'm gonna wait for more people to hop on here. So I'm not like completely talking to myself, but you know I can do that. Hello, Miellyn. Hold on, let me send you an invite. Boom. Hello, everybody tuning in. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. I just heard you talking about your pink light.
Yes. Doesn't that look purple?
I love it.
But it's pink. Oh, hey. Hello, everybody tuning in. This is Miellyn. Miellyn plays Madie on Sovereign of Death. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to pop them in the comments. I know I have a few myself. Hello, everybody hopping in. So first question for you, Miellyn. So what's it like seeing this? Because Carmen said, I believe you guys started this in like the pandemic. So what's it kind of like for you seeing the whole finished, like the finished product and everything?
It's wild because I definitely remember a lot of things, but I've forgotten a lot of things too. And I knew that we were ridiculous and chaotic. But yeah, some things happened. So it's fine. I really thought some things happened a little sooner than they did. I thought that I didn't think that that episode 3 ended where it did. I will say that.
Oh, it's okay. You can say it. We're here to talk about it all. It's okay.
Yeah, no, I know. We'll get to it. That's why I'm like, I don't want to get to it yet.
We'll get it right now.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff I didn't remember. And so Aaron and I have been texting a good bit about it.
I know. I mean, I didn't even then, when I was on board and I watched the whole thing and then watching it again with everybody, I didn't remember Keith being in so early.
Oh yeah, first episode.
Yeah, I thought he was in like the 3rd or 4th.
Yeah, and I kept trying to get back to him. And Wynn did not want that to happen.
I know. Wynn wasn't the greatest Keith and Meef shipper.
Yeah, but Martin more than made up for it.
Martin, I need a Martin in my life for when I need a Martin. Just somebody dress up as a tree and then just like kind of be there as like protection for dates and just Martin's just supportive.
The thing I will say, because yes, that part of Martin I absolutely love, but I will say that that boy is chaotic.
Yeah. The arson, not so much the best quality of
He surprised us, I think, almost as much as Carmen did. Carmen was excellent at like getting to the end of an episode and dropping something just wild on us. And then I remember shooting the end of the first episode and we got to this just like huge cliffhanger and we're just like all like we can't, and our chins are on the table and we can't believe that we have to stop. And people were filming like once a week. We're like, hey, can we like get back together? None of us has anything to do right now because it's pandemic. So like we're free. We could like just play forever. So,
which is so funny because I remember Carmen telling me that, oh, you guys all just met, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm David, the inspiration of Steven Universe's Rebecca Sugar. It's great to meet you. Are you a fan of Steven Universe? I haven't seen it and I've been meaning to see that.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either. I've heard it's great though.
I have. I've heard good things about it. I remember when Carmen said, oh yeah, you guys all just met. Like, did you guys just meet like only a few times before? Was that all your first time like with the episode? I mean, I know you and Aaron are friends.
So Aaron and I worked together. And so I took her with me to PAX one year. I used to do panels at the video game convention PAX. And so and she used to go to PAX and work there at a previous job. And so one time I was like, hey, do you want to come? Do you want to do a panel with me? We used to do this panel. It was called PAX Orientation. It was for people who'd never been before. And we would just give advice and like help people make friends. We would do this huge paper airplane fight at the end. We bring a whole big stack of paper, and then you're supposed to write your name on a piece of paper, and then we do a paper airplane fight. Then you have to find the person who has your paper. And people would make friends. We always did it like the first morning. And so Aaron and I went, and then we were hanging out. So I've been friends with Sissy Jones for a really long time. And so we were hanging out with Sissy. I think we all like had gotten a room and stuff. And then she knew Carmen. And so I met Carmen in the lobby of the hotel. Aaron wasn't there. She never met Carmen. She only met Carmen in person like 2 months ago, I think.
Yeah, that's bizarre to me.
I know. And I met him that one time and we stayed in touch. And then I told him about Aaron because he said, hey, he wanted to do this thing. I was like, well, I mean, Aaron and I play together. We have to play together. And I still have never met Mallory or Zelda in person. And we didn't meet until we did our we did like a session 0 and we did some planning sessions and stuff like that. But we didn't meet before that at all. So yeah, funny.
It's so funny because like all the characters like kind of like they just, you know, they're all perfect in one group because, you know, like Wynn's kind of the mom and then Madie's kind of the romantic. Martin's Martin. And Arya's Arya.
Yeah.
But
yeah, we're all
funny
really
how, like, you guys all make that perfect group.
I think that Carmen did a great thing with starting us after an adventure. So he dropped us out of something. So we returned to this town and we're all just been victorious and we had to go celebrate. And I think that really did a great job of like just making us feel connected already.
Yeah, exactly. Because you guys like went to the pub and then you all hung out, got to get to know each other. So it was like
accidentally did illegal magic. It was like
straight to the pub.
Like, you know, I really didn't think that was going to happen, and I also can't believe he rewarded me for it. But you know, so I wore my Dare shirt just to try to make up for
I love that.
any damage that might have been done. Say no to drugs, especially illegal magic.
Yes, with the it's not drugs, illegal magic. Yes,
Illegal.
Say no to illegal magic, folks.
Yeah.
Yes. Temper religion does not approve of illegal magic.
No, I'd forgotten that. Well, so I kind of had forgotten about Tony, which was my pony, which I had when we were making our characters. I had found this on the character sheet as a possibility that you could have a horse in your inventory or a pony in your inventory, and I was like, oh, can I do this? And Carmen's amazing. Hi, Carmen. Hello. I'm not just saying that because you just tuned in. I said it earlier. You can watch.
Yeah, we've been talking good about you before, Carmen.
Good stuff. But Carmen's great about saying yes to a lot of stuff. So I said, great, I'm gonna have a pony. His name is Tony, although I think we kept forgetting what gender Tony was. But the mental image of Madie passed out on top of the horse or lying on top of the horse with Arya on top of her, clopping across the road. Like, I don't know. It was just, I love how Mallory would just she would always take it a next step in a really wonderful way.
Yes, I love it. Arya was like backwards for a whole entire scene. She like facing completely the opposite way, and Wynn just like turned her around the other way.
Yeah. It's just like, yeah, I don't really know.
I think I talked about this with Aaron too, like how D&D is like a whole, you know, how it can be intimidating in some groups depending on like the group you're with. Like, you know, some people are very stiff on the rules, but what I loved about all of you guys are very much just yes and when you do like that yes and method, it leads you to like stuff you never even thought about the direction going. So have you ever played D&D or like any tabletop before Sovereign of Death?
I had, yeah. I wasn't allowed to play it when I was young because of the satanic panic. You know, you might get sliced by a sword kind of thing. My mom was like, I read news articles. I'm not into this. So I was an adult when I got into tabletop, and I definitely I've played a few different I've played a few different ways. I've played like just private games, and then I've also played like live games, like on Twitch and things like that. It's always interesting and strange, and it's so different playing for a show than it is playing for fun, because
Yeah.
you have to get to a point. You have to make sure that you're, you know, you don't want to pull your DM too far off track, because you know you're trying we want to have an hour and a half show, something like that. But the really fun thing about this was that we were able to. Can you hear? I get a message. It's like buzz so loud. I lost my little stand for my phone, so I had to make one out of Lego. And so anyway, that's where we're at.
DIY.
DIY. We watched Lego Masters, and I made this, and it's great. It's my husband's idea. But this group was so game to play in the ridiculous way and to make it fun and funny, and that's really how I like to play. Like, I'd rather have, have people who want to have fun with it and get super creative. That's really my favorite.
Exactly. We all seem to be like on the same page, because I would avoid D&D for a while. Last played it in like high school, and we were all yes, and I don't even think we even really looked at the rules. We didn't really know what we were doing, but we rolled dice. We had fun.
Yeah.
So just getting back to Madie, can you describe the process of like what it was like making Madie? Like, do you think that some traits of her are in you as well? Were they different? Like, what was that process like?
So when I play role-playing games, I really like to play chaotic, neutral characters and warrior characters. And so I love to have a big, strong character with a big hammer. And that's how I play like video games too. I mean, I can't do it like ranged weapons. I'm like, no, let me just go in there. Now, I try not to do Leroy Jenkins every time. It's really hard for me. But I like to have characters that are really impulsive too. So they're not spending a lot of time trying to like figure out the right thing to do. I mean, I got stumped real bad a couple of times in this game, because like I get to a point where I'm like, I don't know what I should do. I am super stuck. And then we'd start talking to each other, and then we'd get in trouble. Like, I think, what did I say? Like, oh, they didn't perform the ritual, we did, or something like that. And Carmen's
yes.
like,
And then Horatio was like, Horatio's right behind you. I'm like, oh no.
I know. It was great though, because he like kept us going, because we would get kind of like into that. So yeah, so like big characters. Oh, and the other thing with this particular character was Carmen was building the world and sending us materials for it. He said, and there are no more humans. So it's like, great, I want to play the last human. I can't like resist that kind of like a real story nugget to latch onto. And it really sparked a lot for the rest of the team too, because they're like, great, that you're our showpiece. We're like kind of like a traveling carnival. And that became a really interesting journey for the characters because of that. So did that answer your question?
Yeah, 100%. Oh my God, that reminds me, Madie, I mean, not only did that happen, she kissed Gravis. I love how you guys don't remember Gravis's name. Like, I think it was this episode or the one before. You guys are like, Gravis, Jorts? And then they're oh, Jorts, yes. Kiss Gravis right on the mouth. I'm like, yes, that's human affection. Love it. Smooth. Love it.
And then I instantly regretted it.
Yeah.
Because, I come back and I'm like, hey, I'm really sorry you didn't consider this, because again, it's like I have to play this impulsive character. She has some ridiculous conversations where I'm like, oh my God, why are we talking about this right now? We get into some stuff with Keith later where I'm like, well, oh my God. But I felt so bad. I was like, I don't want to set too bad example. And when he kissed me back, I was so embarrassed in the best way possible. Yeah.
So many lovely, chaotic things. I mean, okay, we started off with, for episode 3, if you guys don't want spoilers, then
come back. Go watch and come back.
Go watch the episode and come back. But we started off in my favorite character, my boy, Nightingale Switchblade.
So I
All
know.
right.
So sorry for you.
Mallory's gonna have to answer for her crimes when she comes on here because Arya's the one that squashed the heart.
Now he was super dead by then.
Yeah, okay,
Like
very true. He was
he
very
was
not alive.
he was super, super not alive. Yeah, it's so funny with stuff like that because it's like you don't know what characters to chase. You don't know which direction to go.
Yeah,
You
especially
know,
with Carmen. Carmen,
oh my
if you're
God,
watching this, Carmen, you're
seriously.
still here.
He likes a good rug pull for sure. And like that was the thing about making our way back to Kiev is like, okay, so Wynn didn't want to do it. Martin was super in on it. I wanted to because I was like, listen, you present me with a hunk, I'm gonna go. Like later when we meet Fatima Gray, I have the same exact experience, and then I don't get to chase her. But with Keith, I was like, is it going to happen? Are we actually going to be able to go back and find him? Will we have something like what happened with, with our poor almost intern? Could we have saved him? I don't know. I think that he was in too deep.
He was. That's what happens when you deal with illegal magic, folks. So
Exactly.
it's okay. All right. No, it's actually not okay, Carmen. You will be answering for your crimes. Like whenever you get on here, you will be answering for your crimes. But anyways.
I know, I heard it doesn't matter how long it takes.
Oh no, it doesn't matter how long it takes. Oh, thank you, David. So after there's a ritual, but I mean, there was all this, and then you've got a date. Then like Madie has a date, so double multitasking.
I mean, we got a makeover montage in there.
We had a whole makeover, and then Fee. I didn't realize that Fee came in so early too. I was like,
oh,
episode 8, right?
We all forgot about Fee like a couple of times. Like, I mean, yeah, Fee. Yes, yes. That's all I'm gonna say. Fee, yes.
Oh my god. Yeah. For those of you that don't know, Fee gave Madie a wonderful makeover. Has like this whole inventory, like super magical child, very stylish.
Yeah, I got a really nice green dress and the blue one.
Mm-hmm.
With pockets. Yeah, so that was funny. Yeah, and then we actually made it to so I thought the date was in episode 2. And so we make it to the end of this episode, and that's the beginning, like when we finally get to Kiev, and oh my god, the whole scene was like so adorable. And like, oh, and Martin standing behind Madie dressed like a tree.
Just the tree.
Which those disguises come back too, which I love. Like,
yes. Martin,
you do a pretty good job.
Lovely tree costume, and then Arya with the hat.
Yes, Arya is a cursed dice, I tell you. Like,
I know. When I first met Mallory, we talked about that too. I was like, I don't know what's going on, but poor Mallory. I think she used internet dice, like the online dice.
Yeah, I know. I don't remember. I think so too. I know that Aaron does. Like, Aaron really likes to. Oh. And also, oh my god, the thing that always cracked me up is like we're just like none of us is doing math, like, because I think part of the thing, which is the good thing about doing internet dice, so it'll add stuff up for you. But part of the thing is it's like it's so many things to think about all at one time, and so you're trying to like track on, okay, where is everybody? What is all is happening? Also, I'm filming. Am I in frame? Is my gear working? Because we had some tech issues too that made it really complicated. What's going on outside? Is there noise? Is there that? And so like, there's some really interesting moments where we're just like, I don't know what happened.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, Keith and the adventure date. I love that, like, as much as Wynn was like, no, finally we get down to it. And she's like, okay, let's go. Do you think he could be useful? I was like, he is definitely going to be useful.
Yes, 100%. Meef all the way. Even though Wynn was not a Meef shipper, it's okay because Meef prevailed, and then, stopped right at the date. But
the relationship name, I love it. Yeah. Wynn definitely comes around, I think. Like, well, oh, I don't want to give too much away, but I think she does start to understand, and she sees like how much Madie gets out of that, which is really fun, and at times very awkward. That's okay.
I mean, his parents own a freaking knife museum, so
And
I
she's a blacksmith. I mean, it was meant to be. And
literally.
he's got the boy band hair.
Carmen, hashtag me, yes, me.
Yeah. Oh, I know, I know. And his name too, it made me laugh so hard when going back, and because he says his name at first, and I was like, is it Keith or Keith? And he's like, oh, it's Keith. And later he told me, he was like, no, it was totally Keith at first, but I misunderstood it. And he was like, that's way better. Let's go with it.
Beef with the K.
Which, because I watched the beginning of episode 4, because I couldn't stop. I had to go and like see more of that. And when Carmen says beef with a K, I just died again.
Hashtag me forever. Yes, thank you, Scott. Yes, let's get me
That's
forever.
Scott. Oh God, Scott, what you must think of me? I don't know if I want to know. That is, yeah, I don't envy you having to go through all the extra. I saw you talking about the outtakes. Yes, we did get off track, and we had a lot of fun.
Yeah, you had a lot of fun. It's all good. It's all good. Get off track every now and then. But we left off at such a cliffhanger because at the very end, we get to the date. There's Keith looking all cute with his blue suit, and then that's it. The end.
I know. I know. His super tight, like, suit that's popping.
Super small, like, blue suit.
It's the best. I know.
So
do you want to come on an adventure date? And, you know, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen next? Is he going to come on the adventure date? Will he become a part of the group? Will Carmen murder him? We don't know.
Will Neef prevail? I don't know, you guys.
Yeah.
Gotta stay tuned and keep watch.
It was really, really hard for me to not like get Carmen on the phone a bunch of times, be like, I need to understand like what's going to happen next with Keith. Like I'm getting really emotionally invested in this character at this point. Yeah. And then of course with the big reveal about Wynn's dad and everything, it's just like, wow.
Oh my God, yes, that's right. Poor Wynn. It came at the worst time too, because like Wynn gets the letter about her dad being kidnapped, and then, he's been gone for a few weeks, and then now the letter gets there. So
and the town that we're in is like falling apart. I mean, it's like a total disaster. And now we're like, well, we might need to go. Yeah. Okay. And it is so hard to know like how to make those choices, and how to know where to follow, and like whose parents do you choose?
Exactly.
I will say I have that thought a lot. Martin
wink wonk. I mean, we also have, I forgot how much I did not like Mayor Alistair Wormweather.
Yes, he's the worst.
The worst. I am so happy that Martin lit him on fire.
Oh my God, that's the thing. It's like you never knew what Martin was going to do, which was hilarious. Also, like I was watching and I was like, were we supposed to get more from him? You never know how far you can kind of dig in on a character.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's infinite. Again, with Carmen, it's pretty much infinite. Mm-hmm. Because like, and I asked him one time, I'm going to tell your secrets, Carmen. It's fine. I know you don't care. You can't kick me out here right now. But I asked him one time, I was like, how do you do that? Because we are going all over the place when we're playing, and we're kind of like very chaotic. It's like, we'll interrupt and be like, you mentioned this like third tier NPC who's like in an alleyway smoking a cigarette right outside of a bar, and all of a sudden that becomes a thing. And, so how do you pull us back to these cliffhangers? And, oh wait, warm weather.
Warm weather, really? Warm weather?
Well, isn't it funny too? Because Carmen says his original name was Warm Weather, not Worm Weather, which also is very funny because it's like we're not writing these things down. but yeah, no, Carmen, this isn't a big secret, but like you always manage to pull us back to a great cliffhanger at the end of an episode. So, you know, it's like you had all of these possibilities that we could go, but you were, and I don't know how you did it actually, but you would pull us back and then bring us to a point where we're like, oh my God, what's going to happen next? The names are hilarious.
Warm weather, I love it. Now it's canon that Alistair is from Florida, so.
Yep.
I mean, which will explain a lot, you know, Florida man.
Yeah, he's yeah.
Madie said something too. It was like, that's not the mayor, because he wasn't saying something, and I was like, ooh, what if that's
I
not
know.
what it was? And he was just the worst.
I wish, oh, Carmen, I wish he hadn't. I wish that she had been right in that moment, because how fun would it have been if there was a shapeshifter or some sort of like shielding magic. I mean, that could have sent us off on a whole other.
That could have sent, yeah, like so,
you know,
completely different.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you definitely have kind of like infinite paths.
Necromancy rituals, your typical Florida weekend. As somebody who lived in Orlando, not wrong.
I can't believe Arya could just crush the heart. She's like, that's not what I thought would happen. I really want to know. So Mallory, if you remember, please share with us at some point. I really want to know what you did think was going to happen when you crushed the heart in the middle of a necromancy, ceremony.
You know, I'm going to ask Mallory that, like, the first question, like, you know, as soon as she gets on, like, well, what were you thinking? Because, like, you had it in your talents. Like, what if I just crushed it? But what if you didn't? What if you didn't?
Well, you know, and it's like, what was she thinking versus what Arya was thinking? Because I think that, like, Arya is also a very impulsive character, which was fun. I mean, I guess we kind of all were except for Wynn. But Arya, and you know, and I don't know that it's really clear in this beginning part, but Arya is she's super young too. She's like 12 or 13 years old. Which is relevant. I think it's very relevant. Now, I mean, our Kokra, I'm not sure how old they get. So, but I think it makes a difference in like understanding. So like, but also it's just kind of fun to get dropped in and not know everything about the characters and just be able to like experience it. And you don't really know, you know, Martin's throwing money around and Wynn's got her planner and Arya's Arya.
All right, Arya. Yep.
Mm-hmm. And, you know, and Madie's just looking for love and a really, really nice hammer. And, you know.
Love and a really nice hammer. I need a shirt that says that. I'm looking for love and a really nice hammer. I need a shirt that says that. I'm going to write that down. Next question for Mallory. Why?
Why, Mallory? Why? What happened? But it's great. I mean, but that's the great thing. It's like, it totally opens up something that you wouldn't expect, and not playing safe is fun, except for when things get really dire. Like, not that I'm saying things ever we were all totally fine, nothing bad ever happened to us. So, you know, but if it did, hypothetically, we had some very, very bad things happen to the whole party. You know, it's more fun that way.
Exactly. It's more fun when it's more chaotic. And, you know, I didn't know that Arya was a kid until I first met Mallory, and she said something, because, you know, she's a bird, so it's kind of hard to tell how old she is. So it's okay. It's okay, Mallory. She was a kid, so it's fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, folks. Well, we are approaching the end of our time, so thank you so much, Miellyn, for being on here. It was amazing talking to you and seeing you again. We left off, like I said, right before Meef could have their date. So,
oh my God, the name is never going to leave my mind.
I know, it never leaves my mind either. I mean, I came up with it once. I told Karma, I was like, yeah, Meef. And then he was like, Meef, that's amazing. And now it's just going to get stuck in your head, so.
Yeah, it will. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you for everything you're doing for this. I just love, I love seeing what you're doing and getting to hear you talk to everybody every week. So it's been great.
Thank you. Well, folks, be sure to tune in. Episode 4 is next Monday at 6 p.m. PST. #MEEF. So,
adventure date. Who knows what can happen?
who knows? You never know. Stay tuned. Thank you, Miellyn.
Thanks. Bye.
Thanks, everybody, for tuning in.